Hey guys, welcome to the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. I'm Jules and this is our open studio sessions and this is the fourth one today. And I'm joined by Al. Hello. And our guest, hi Al, and our guest, Sarah Meredith, who is the owner of Life of Riley Pet Bakery and Boutique. How are you guys doing?
Good. Excited to be here.
Excellent. Al, how's the morning gone so far for you?
Very good. We had a quick schedule change at the beginning with me and Dee, so I was like, let's just hit record, and we just talk nonsense for about 40 minutes. It's great. That's what I love. But yeah, I want to say thank you to everybody that's joining us today. And people have to life is a challenge in itself. So if we do have to reschedule, we will reschedule and get you back on the show, and because we want to hear your story, it's very important.
Yeah, absolutely. And well, we can say thank goodness for Zoom at the moment because it's allowing people to do this sort of stuff.
Definitely.
So Sarah, do you want to just let our listeners know a little bit about yourself and your business?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll try not to waffle. It's not really my strong suit talking about myself, but I'll do my best. So yes, I'm Sarah, live in North Shropshire. To cut a very long story short, we bought our dream house back in 2017, and it came with this amazing sort of little outbuilding that we weren't quite sure what to do with. Anyway, going on from that, later on that year, we found out that my dog Riley, who is was a 7-year-old Patterdale Terrier, and he is everything. He's our baby. Although I appreciate some people hate it when people say that about their dogs, don't they? But he is, so get over it.
I'm with you on that one.
Yeah. We found out that he was really poorly with allergies. Lots of food allergies. So in 2018, we started making his own treats. And then, I'm saying a lot, sorry.
It's fine.
Just go with it.
Yeah. Started making his own treats and he loved them. And we saw a huge improvement. So that's where Life of Riley was born. We had the opportunity to turn this amazing 170-year-old stone building into a bakery, so we've got a dedicated bakery in the garden, and then we've never looked back. It's been really exciting over the last few years for us. We love what we do.
I think it's fascinating. I really do think it's fascinating because I'm not a pet guy, right? And part of it's by choice, part of it isn't. I live in a small apartment. I couldn't have a dog running around here, and I'm not a big. I don't mind cats. I just think they're sneaky, right? So if I could have a dog, I probably would, in all honesty. But so I'm not attached to the cutesy wootsy dog is a family member because I've never been there. I appreciate that because it's very important. So to see so much love and care and being put into a product that's going to better the lives of animals is new to me, but very, very nice to see.
Nice. Yeah. What's interesting actually is because obviously I don't suppose people would necessarily know that a dog would have allergies. So how did you discover that Riley had allergies anyway in the first place? What sort of things was happening?
It was really weird. So he's always had a very, really sensitive tummy, always eating grass, always being ill. Well, I say always, that sounds awful, doesn't it? No, over the years it was just something that you come to accept. I think if a dog has always had a sensitive tummy, you just go, oh, he's just got a sensitive tummy. You don't really think too much into it. You try and obviously amend his diet so it becomes less of an issue, but it got to the point where he all of a sudden overnight became quite gravely ill. It was absolutely terrifying actually, because I took him to the vet straight away because he was sort of haunched over and he looked like he was actually admitted him, which was absolutely terrifying. And we didn't really think anything of it because normally food allergies they're sort of known for itchy skin, dandruff, that kind of thing, which we've never had an issue with. No hot spots or anything like that. So we thought, no, it can't be that. It's got to be something more serious. And the vet was under the same impression. He had numerous blood tests. They came back and said that some of his organs were under extreme pressure and that they thought it might be Addison's disease.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah, in dogs.
Oh, have you ever Yeah, it's horrible. It's
one of my clients had it.
Yeah, it's incurable. And it's a really scary thing, for them to be diagnosed with. So naturally, at that point, I was like, "Oh, are you sure? Please, can you do some more investigation?" And it sounds daft, but 3 years ago, as much as the allergy tests have been out for a long time. It wasn't as well known as it is now. It's really common for people to know that their dog has allergies now, whereas back then it seemed a bit, I don't know, far-fetched, especially for things like Riley is allergic to beef, pork, rabbits.
So all the stuff that dogs would like, all the nice meats.
And and it's some of the things on his list, like certain fish. All sorts of stuff, and we just thought, oh my goodness. He used to have quite a famous company's, a well-known company's dental sticks on a daily basis, and we thought, great, it's keeping his teeth clean. And before we knew about how important ingredients were, and it turned out that they were the main culprit. And since then.
Is that because of a lack of quality or just because of your dog's?
Awful ingredients. I mean, it's not until it becomes an issue that you start to sort of dig down into what ingredients are in things, and you think, hang on a minute, I don't even know what that is. And there's dozens of ingredients in there that you have no idea. It's obviously not natural. So we obviously cut those out straight away. And luckily he was already on a very high quality hypoallergenic food, which didn't actually contain any of the allergens. Sorry, I'm saying allergens. It's a food intolerance, but ignore me if I say allergy. It's not an allergy. So we didn't need to change his food, so that was reassuring. So it was just the treats side of things that we needed to get on top of. But yeah, really, really scary stuff. And a lot of people don't realise. They just put it down to having a sensitive tummy, or dry skin, it's very, very, very common.
So you start making your own treats, and then what happens after that? Then do people start hearing about what you're doing and ask you to start making them for their pets, or how does this happen and become a business?
It's a great question. We started making them for Riley, and then we were sharing them with sort of friends and family dogs, and they started really enjoying them, and I was getting really nice feedback, that not only the dog was really enjoying the treat, obviously, because that's really important, but that they were seeing improvements in various different things like health, of coat, less gastro upset, that kind of thing. So, and we started making a turmeric treat, which was just really, really effective, and we were getting really good feedback about dogs with joint problems. So the reason why we started sort of marketing them is probably because we just love dogs, and the lack of choice out there at the time for those sort of natural biscuits and really tasty treats just weren't there. So we thought, well, why not? Let's have a go. Let's see if it goes anywhere. And it did. it just did. Yeah, it was brilliant.
It's huge. And I mean, I think it probably quite interesting without you giving away too many ingredients. Yeah. Because obviously there are competitors out there, and you don't want necessarily, yours are quite unique. But what are some of the things that, because people are thinking, well, what would you be feeding a dog then if they can't have beef or pork?
Yeah, good question.
So what sorts of things would be in your treats? So, I mean,
I'm open about our ingredients. I've got nothing to hide. Competitors are always going to copy. True. Whether I try and hide it or not. So one of our main USPs is that, you know, you can probably recognise every ingredient in our treats, and it's all listed. So it makes it really easy for people to see exactly what they're doing. But basically, our main ingredient in our biscuits is a seed called buckwheat, which is naturally grain and gluten free, and it's great for sensitive tummies. And then we've got coconut, which is normally the second ingredient. Now, coconut is amazing for dogs. It's just full of natural oils and essential fatty acids, and they love it. They absolutely go crazy for it. So, and then we also make our own peanut butter. So we roast off our own nuts and blend it ourselves, so we know it's completely pure. Yeah, which we use in all our all but the macaroons we use in all the biscuits. And then we infuse them with flavours like the turmeric, with the black pepper, which increases absorption. And then we've got ginger, which is great for travel sickness and motion sickness, and beetroot. And yeah, it's just, it's all the natural stuff. Yeah.
There's no ease. But also the other interesting thing, Al, and you might find this a bit surprising, but because it's all human grade, if you wanted to, you can eat, a person can eat them. So I have had a nibble of the peanut bone, you know, the bones.
Yes.
I've had a nibble. I mean, obviously they're quite dry.
Yeah, well, you know, naturally.
But
no,
it wasn't unpleasant.
Wow. A shared picnic with a dog. I like that.
Yeah. I have got to just say, though, legally, I'm not allowed to say that. Only because I've got a pet feed manufacturer's license. And you know, but yes.
That's why I said it, because I knew you. Yeah.
I'm looking on the website now, and the presentation for a lot of these, you do like proper cookie jars with the chocolate chip cookies, and the peanut butter, the beetroot kisses. Wow,
I know. Yeah,
so creative.
It's just stuff. It's just all come naturally, to be fair, and with feedback from our amazing customers. I mean, we've got most of our customers have been with us the entire time, and the loyalty that we've seen. And you know, I've heard some of your other podcasts talking about how amazing Shropshire people are for supporting local businesses, and it's so true. They're amazing, but also further afield, you know.
How far out do you go now? Because obviously, you know, you did start locally, and obviously people in Shrewsbury, and you know, and obviously the surrounding areas in Shropshire. But how far do you reach now?
Oh wow, we go from the Highlands of Scotland over to Northern Ireland, Dublin, down to Land's End, over to sort of Southampton, Portsmouth. Yeah. It is crazy. It's just it's all over the place now.
How do you come up with ideas for new products? Are these things that people is this from your imagination or suggestions by other people?
Oh, definitely both. So I get an amazing amount of feedback from my customers about what they're looking for. And you know, they tag me in things going, oh, could you do a doggy version of this? And I'm like, oh well, let's have a go. Some of it's our own inspiration, but it's just all come with time. For example, our doggy donuts, Duncan from Planet Donut was the one that actually come up with the idea. So he's awesome. Been so supportive of our business. I mean, like, he approached us in our first year of trading, and we'd only been going a couple of months, and said, can you come up with this idea, and what can we do? And over the next few years, he has been so patient, because as you can imagine with any natural product and something that's really new to the market, we make everything from scratch, like our own icing, so we've had a few issues. Let's not beat around the bush, and it's just about local people supporting each other and feeding back to each other, which is just awesome.
You do themed stuff, don't you? So, like, obviously, Al said about the kisses, and I know you had Valentine's. Well, obviously, it was Christmas first, wasn't it? All the Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
Valentine's. There's Easter coming up, so you've got some Easter bits which I'm going to be ordering later on this afternoon, just to pre-warn you.
Thanks, Jules.
you've got. Well, I mean, obviously, apart from it doesn't matter. My clients won't know about this until after this interview, probably. But apart from the bits I'll be buying as like gifts for my clients, I will also be. You've got the Easter egg hut, which I think is a brilliant idea.
Oh,
for doggy people that don't have children,
yeah.
as you said at the beginning, they are like your kids. So to have a product that people can do an Easter egg hunt, on Easter Sunday with their dogs is a fantastic idea.
Thank you.
It's so cool. So cool.
Yeah, it just all of a sudden just came into, because I saw like a human version, and I thought, why can't we do that for dogs? And you're saying about people without children, a lot of people are saying they're looking forward to doing one for the dogs and the children, and doing it as a bit of a family thing. It's I'm looking forward to seeing all the photos and videos of people that when they tag us in it. It's going to be really exciting.
And so, I mean, obviously you've expanded in terms of, you were selling the product yourself out direct to your clients, but you've now got like a wholesale side of the business as well, haven't you? So
yeah, probably about 80% of our business is wholesale. It's snowballed a little bit. It's really good. We've got over 100 trade customers over the UK, so it's great because we're reaching places that we wouldn't normally reach, and it's also giving the customer, because we don't have a shop, it's giving the customer an opportunity to look and feel and have a proper look at the product before they buy it, rather than it's quite a commitment, isn't it, when you're buying something online and you've got to trust in the product.
Well, exactly. And I think the fact that everything. And again, obviously, this is, I suppose, like, for in terms of like your wholesale clients and stuff that, for businesses, you can personalize the products as well, can't you? So how do you go about personalizing them? How does that work?
Well, at the moment, it's all done by me. I do have help. My poor long-suffering husband is a massive help, and he's just coming on to join the business full-time, and he helps me with bits like that and the packing and things. And then I've got Sarah that comes and helps us in the bakery, but when it comes to sort of the branding, I'm the one editing the logos and positioning it on packaging, and we've got a 3D printer, so we print our own cookie cutters so people can have branded ones, and that's more my husband's realms. I do have a go.
that was one of the questions I mean, this is, again, the viewers obviously won't be able to see this, or listeners won't be able to see this when the thing comes out, but in terms of like the ones that I get, so for Al, for you to see that, I don't know if you can see it, but it's like, actually, apart from being back to front, but it's embedded my logo.
Yeah, we stamp them in.
So how do you stamp them? So how do you
So we've got a big box of letters, would you believe, and we painstakingly pick them out and stick them together, and then we stamp them onto each biscuit.
Oh my god! Yeah. So I did wonder. So I thought, and obviously you're doing that before they're baked, are you? Or,
yes. Yeah.
So they're like soft, and
so they're all hand rolled out. We've got a big mixer, and then we roll all the dough out, and then we cut them out, and then we stamp them, and then they go in the oven. Yeah.
So obviously you said your husband's joining the business full time, or will be very shortly, because of how busy you've got. So in terms of obviously a baker, I mean, how often is your bakery baking, so to speak?
Well, you'd be surprised on how much time everything takes. Well, no, actually, by saying we're putting letters together, you're probably having a bit of an idea. But yeah, the bakery is probably in use most days.
Yeah.
She's had a new lease of life, bless her. Otherwise, when we first bought the house, it was falling down. There was ivy growing out the roof, so it was a good 4 months to get her converted. But she works hard. She works hard now. The bakery, not the baker.
I should imagine both. But I mean, and obviously, because you've got clients from the length and breadth of the country, and they're trade clients, so obviously it's lots of bulk of stuff. It's not one or two bits and pieces here and there. So I'd imagine obviously all the packaging and that now, all that element of is forms quite a heavy part. A bit like a little mini processing plant, isn't it? You make them here, you brand them there, you pack them there, and then off they go, sort of thing.
I may have commandeered one of the downstairs rooms in my house for a dedicated packing room. As I said, long-suffering husband, he puts up with a lot. And long story short, but we've been doing up our house, as you know, Julie, because you've seen how much of a mess it is. We're doing up our house for a long time. So we're just at the process of sort of negotiating on who's getting what room in the house, as to whether it's a business room or whether it's a living room. So I've managed to snag a really good space for all of my stock.
But you need it, don't you? Because otherwise, you've got to end up then, because your bakery, and I've seen your bakery, and that is purely dedicated for all of your ingredients and your baking. So you don't really want to.
Oh, you can't mix the two.
You can't mix the two.
No.
So it would mean another, and obviously your uniqueness is you don't want to end up being some great big factory with like all these different products. Well, I don't know, you might.
It's not the
plan. But I mean, it's Life of Riley. So the name, obviously, everyone, it's those sentences, isn't it, that people are familiar with anyway. So lots of people, know what Life of Riley means. People lead in the life of Riley. And obviously, Riley is called Riley.
He is. And it wasn't planned.
No, I was going to say, but what did you have a light bulb moment of, this is what we could call the business, or how did that come about?
It's really weird. Normally people stress and you throw ideas around, and I've had a few businesses before that were I just didn't enjoy. But to try and find names and do the marketing for that kind of thing, and to get a theme and a feel for the branding, it was just such a struggle. But with this, it's just been so natural, even down to the ingredient, the recipes. We just hit the floor, we hit the ground running. It just seemed to all fall into place, and with the name as well, it just I didn't even question it. I was like, it's going to be called Life of Riley. And then every time it was really strange. There was no doubt in my mind, and I said to my husband, I said, we're going to call the business Life of Riley, and he just went, okay. That works.
Go on now. Sorry, go on.
So I was just going to say, what was from the very beginning? What were your flagship creations? What were the things that people gravitated to more the most? Was it the cakes, the biscuits? What was the best selling product you made from the beginning? Maybe still today.
Definitely, our number one is our macaroons, our coconut macaroons. They have been, they are every time I get any feedback, they go, "Oh, the dog loves the biscuits." But they really love the white ones. And I'm like, oh, the macaroons. I can almost hear, before they've even said it, I'm like, every time it's always the macaroons are, and we're actually the only people in the UK to make those.
Wow.
So, yes. Yeah. So you saw it here first, people.
Well done. Well done.
I mean, it's everything though, isn't it? It's not just your ingredients. I mean, all of your stuff. So like, your labels here, nice bit of cardboard, your packaging, that's all recyclable, isn't it? You're tied up.
All those ones are, Jules? Yeah.
No, yeah. And your string, everything. Everything's recyclable, all sort of as natural as you can possibly make it. So, it's not just the product, it's what it comes in as well.
Yeah, and we supply a lot of zero waste shops as well, because they buy them in bulk loose. So they're happy because they get a cardboard box with paper in it, no plastic, and they get the loose biscuits and paper tape, and it's fantastic for them because it's zero waste and they can recycle everything. You know, they can reuse the box, and so it's always been our we want to give more than we take away. And like our bakery is run off solar energy, and we use carbon neutral couriers where possible. And everything we do is hopefully not adding to the problem that we've got with the environment.
Do you work with other veterinary services or dog health services to make sure you get it right, or to get advice from local pet services?
That's a really good question. So when we first started, I did a course in canine nutrition to give me a grounding of you know, I already had a fairly good idea just from all the research that I did with Riley. And there's no such motivation as you know, especially your own dog, as to try and find out what does what and what helps what. But we have collaborated with the nutritionist and vets before who have approved our recipes. So that's always really reassuring. Because I mean, people always ask me what motivates you and why do you do what you do, and I've been asked recently, you know, when people ask you what your vision is or the reason that your method statement, and I'm just like, ingredients. Easy. It's the most important thing. So you know, obviously very, very closely followed by taste and flavor and you know, but ingredients always top.
But even the look of them, isn't it? You know, it's
that's for the owners.
And it's not a case of you're just going to chuck together like a round biscuit. I mean, like, you know, your biscuits are, you know, the peanut biscuits are bone shaped, and all of your Easter ones are, you know, they're bunny shaped and egg shaped, and your Christmas ones were snowmen, trees.
Oh, we love it. It's loads of fun. And our development days in the bakery are our favourite days because we're just like, oh, everyone's going to love this. And, you know, it's more enjoyable trying to make really fun things out of natural products, because if we were to use any ingredients, we could just do whatever we wanted, and we could make them look like whatever. But when you've got the challenge of only having a select few ingredients that you can use, and you know, and they're always a bit tricky because it's grain free and they can be really brittle, or you know, so the challenge is great. We love coming up with all the creative stuff. It's our favorite bit.
I love the Happy Gotcha Day cake, the birthday style cake. That looks amazing. It really
Thanks.
does. Yeah. What's in one of those cakes then? What's in one of these big birthday type cakes?
Yeah, wow. We've recently changed them because it used to be like a peanut butter sponge, but we've recently changed them so they're essentially a giant macaroon. Wow. They are a 6-inch macaroon. And then we've got our carob, which is the dog safe version of chocolate. But it's not just dog safe, it's full of vitamins and minerals. It's a brilliant ingredient. And then so people can carve up this cake and then give it to their dog throughout the year because it's got a nice long shelf life on it. So we don't encourage people to give their dogs such a big cake all in one go. It's, you know,
just imagine
moderation.
Well, it's like when you did one for my business birthday, my first birthday.
Yeah, you shared it all out, didn't you?
I did. I cut it up into 15 slices and gave each slice, you know, all of my clients a slice each, and then obviously my two got a few more slices than they should have. So mine didn't last a year, even though I know it could have.
Yeah,
it was pretty much gone within a week. But and it was like all of the dogs. Snuffled it up.
Yay, that makes me happy.
Exactly, to be expected. So
is the great elusive the thing you want to make that you haven't quite worked out yet?
There's always stuff that I think, in the back of my mind, I really want to want to crack it. I can't think of one off the top of my head, only because my mind works in like a million miles an hour, and then it's I'm like I can only focus on one thing at a time. So if I was to start to think about that, you'd lose me.
You've got to balance it, haven't you? You've got to run a business, and you can procrastinate a little bit. You can't procrastinate too much, because then the business will probably suffer. But I mean, I just thought maybe there's one thing that you've never been able to get the ingredients for, that you've never been able to put together yet. But I don't know, maybe see what the future holds, I guess.
Yeah, well, if I'm completely honest, our icing is an absolute pain, and that's taken so much development. So we're always tweaking and changing that. So one day I will be 100%. It's great, but I just, when you're just not. I'm 98% there that I've cracked it. I've just got that 2%. Until I'm really happy with it. And it's not about the quality of the ingredients, it's just about me being a perfectionist about it. But no, I mean, I've got a great business coach now, Johnny from Good to Great, and he is keeping me on track, because I said, Johnny, I've got all these ideas and I just can't get them all, I get too excited. And so he's channeling me down to make sure that we're doing what we should be doing.
What's his name? Who are these people? I need to speak, because I am never happy. I have got this unobtainable goal of perfection, and I don't think I'll ever be happy. I think I'll need to go for more. What can we do now? What can we do now? How can we improve this? What's next?
Oh, you definitely need to speak to him. Johnny Themans from Good to Great. Absolutely brilliant. They do a funded program as well, so it's
are they local, Sarah?
Yeah, Bridgnorth.
Oh, okay, cool.
Really good. Definitely recommend. But yeah, I know what you mean. It's almost exhausting, isn't it, when you love what you do so much, and then you just want to do everything at the one time.
I got to tell you, I did a show last night, and about 3/4 of the way in, I got all my lines muddled. I brought up wrong pictures, and I was just having an awful show, and I just kind of died. Like I was just kind of like, I don't care anymore, because I was so unhappy with what I'd done. I am a bit of a perfectionist. I like it all to sound and look good, but it sounds like you've got like this winning recipe that's just, I mean, what was lockdown like for you? Did you pick up in sales? Did it suffer a little bit and then pick up? What was it?
Yeah, lockdown was really weird. Obviously we had to stop the help from Sarah at that point, because we didn't deem it as essential, and she was perfectly happy with that as well. But so it was interesting, because more than half of our stockists closed, or were only providing essential items, and as much as we think they're essential, treats aren't, probably. So the trade side of things sort of died a death, really, and then but the website sales picked up, I think, because people really appreciated that small businesses were suffering. They just then flocked to help, which was awesome, and our loyal fans kept us going, and we were really excited when the rules relaxed and we could get Sarah back and do things obviously slightly different now. I used to be in there with her, but we've decided to keep it separate, so we're not in the bakery at the same time. But it's been interesting, but I can't complain.
Yeah,
I've had amazing customers as well, and my friends and colleagues like yourself, Jules, and Bevy, and Newport Pets, and everyone that helped keep me going, because a lot of people started up online shops as well. So it was good. Yeah, really.
So what's the future hold for you in terms of where you want? Or do you need to speak to your coach first?
No, he told me off for not knowing the answer to this.
Oh, really?
And it was fair enough, actually, because I just went, I don't know. But the next plan for the business is to build a bigger bakery. Because as much as she is amazing, she's not quite big enough. So it'll still be on our property. Luckily, we've got space for it. and watch that space, because that's going to be quite exciting.
Very much
Excellent
so.
idea. And obviously you've got your trade customers, and you do have your website. And for obviously the listeners, certainly, like our regular listeners and that, and we have listeners abroad. We have listeners from America and so, there's nothing to stop you sending stuff overseas, is there, if you get the orders, I guess?
As long as the customs, because our products contain no animal, because they contain no animal byproducts, most of the time it's not a problem. So as long as it's fully declared, that there's probably no reason why. It's not something that we've done yet, but
no. If people wanted to know about your website or your Facebook or your Instagram, now's your chance to tell everyone your page details.
This is the cringy self-selling bit, isn't it?
Bank account number, your national insurance number.
They wouldn't get very far with that information anyway. Well, our website is www.lifeofrileyuk.com. You can find everything on there. But it's always useful to follow us on our social media, because I tend to put everything on there first, when we're launching new things, and that's just Life of Riley Bakery for Facebook and Instagram. So shameless plug over.
Never shameless on this show. Never shameless.
This is about what these open studio sessions that we do with local businesses. That's exactly what this is about, though. We do want you to shamelessly plug yourselves, because it is about making people aware of businesses and the local, and the fact that you're a small business. You're not one of these great big corporates chucking out treat after treat that's not necessarily full of healthy stuff. So and that's what these sessions are about, and it's certainly about what the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast team is about, trying to help all of the local businesses, and in those slightly a little bit further afield in Shropshire, to get the support and keep the support going.
Yeah, it's brilliant what you guys do. I love it. And I can probably speak for everyone that's been on one to say thank you, because you've made it really chilled as well.
I've been eating fries. My wife bought me a McDonald's in the background. I'm like, I'm so unprofessional. I don't get a break doing this the whole day, so I'm very, very sorry.
Life's too short to be too serious all the time.
Yeah. So thank you for understanding that.
No problem.
I really love speaking to you. I'd love to talk to you sort of in a bit more down the line, when lockdown's over and things have changed. If you have any new products you want to bring out and talk about, any events you want to bring up, please come back on. We'd love to speak to you.
Oh, thank you. Definitely will take you up on that.
Yeah,
excellent.
fantastic.
It's been great speaking to you too.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Do you want to do the website, or shall I, Jules?
You go for it, Al.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Guys, make sure you check out our website too. Okay. Which is the shrewsburybiscuitpodcast.co.uk. Made for us by our friends at Web Orchard. You can't see it, but they're just behind me right there. Look there.
Yeah.
They make a great website. If you do need one, make sure you check out Pete from Web Orchard. He's responsible for loveshrewsbury.com and information solutions too. They're great. They do my podcast for the Biscuit and for USUC too, and they look amazing. So make sure you check them out. Also, we are now a fully working business. We're looking for sponsors. We're looking for people to join us. We are a CIC. Okay, so everything that we make goes back into the show to make it sustainable, because what we do, we feel is important. We sort of promote this town, tell people around the world, like Jill said, about this great place that we do, and not just Shrewsbury, Shropshire too. So if you do want to get involved with the Biscuit and you would like some adverts thrown in here, very classy made, or we can just bring it up in the conversation, whatever you want to do, get in touch with us and we'll work with you. Absolutely. Sarah, you've been amazing. Thank you so much for chatting to us.
Thank you.
Jules, well done.
Excellent. Thank you. And thank you.
Right, we'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.